Hello everybody, this is your friend Darren Iman, the master of shenanigans. Now I often get asked who my favorite comic book character of all time is. Very, very difficult to nail it down. DC Comics, I'll usually say Batman. Definitely anything by Neil Gaiman, like The Sandman for the Vertigo line. But for Marvel Comics, my answer's been the same pretty much for the last 10 years and isn't likely to change. It's Daredevil, the Man Without Fear. I have not yet done a quick draw of him. I smacked myself in the head the other day. How have I not done a Daredevil? So we're going to correct that problem right now. Here we go. So as I said in the intro, Daredevil, by far my favorite character in Marvel Comics, one of my favorite characters in all of comics. And the reason why I love Daredevil is just because he's such an interesting character, such a dramatic character. Like Spider-Man is a fun, lighthearted character that you can read for a laugh, you know. The Hulk is your basic power fantasy. I'm talking about Marvel Comics now, mind you. Daredevil is really neither of those. He's a very much a dramatic character. A lot of drama in Daredevil, and you need to look no further than my favorite graphic novel of all time, Daredevil Born Again. And so the whole great thing about Daredevil is, you know, like I said, he's not necessarily a power fantasy, which is to say that all comic book characters are power fantasies. But, I mean, who would win in a fight, Daredevil or any other superhero? You know, Daredevil versus Superman, Daredevil versus the Incredible Hulk, Daredevil versus the Flash. Like, he's not one of those guys. He's even Batman, who was very much like a non-power. He's like the quintessential non-superpowered character, right? And yet, that's way too high, way too low. And yet Batman is so exaggerated, like he's been played up as like the most powerful member of the Justice Society, you know? I'm sorry, the Justice League. He's beaten Superman. And that's not Daredevil. Daredevil is just, he's a flawed character who just does the best he can to try and defend the city that he loves. And his powers even are not only just powers, but they're also his biggest weakness, and the fact that he's blind, which is such an interesting part of his character. You know, his whole tragic backstory. So generally, if I find someone like a literary snob who, I mean, I've studied English, I've studied philosophy, so I've read all the great books, and depending on the literary snob that I'm speaking to, generally, if, you know, they have an attitude that we've come to expect when it comes to comic books or even animation, I will start them on Daredevil Born Again. So, well, read this book. And then, you know, normally they come back to me and they're like, okay, all right, you got my attention. It's very well written, very engaging. At which point I will say, okay, now depending on the character, if you're really into, or the person, if you're really into character-driven comics, I'll turn you to The Watchmen, who has fascinatingly developed and complex characters. Or if your favorite book is Naked Lunch, I will hook you on to The Max by Sam Keith. If your favorite work of literary fiction, or literary works, is something philosophical, read Concrete. If your favorite, you know, there's a book out there for everybody. If you want something lighthearted, it'll just make you laugh, look no further than your friendly neighborhood Spider-Man. All of the great intellects that I like are big comic book fans. Ben Shapiro is a huge Spider-Man fan. So is Barack Obama, has all of the Spider-Man books. Which is funny because they're very much on the opposite sides of the aisle, those two. Which just goes to show that there's two sides to every story. And if you're only getting your politics from one source, you know, if you're only getting your politics from CNN, then you're only getting a leftist perspective. If you're only getting your politics from Fox News, then you're only getting a right-wing perspective. How are you ever expected to think for yourself if you only get your politics spoon-fed to you? Why am I talking about politics while I'm drawing Daredevil, for goodness sakes? I don't know. Because I'm trying to go so fast that my brain is functioning even less than it normally does. Okay. Gotta remember not to lean right into the frame or you're only gonna see the top of my head. Alright, we gotta get going with the inks here. Even though it's nowhere near ready to be inked. Hope you all appreciate just how much of a challenge these quick draws are for me. So I had decided that drawing an entire torso in the quick draw is just ridiculous. I don't have enough time. So I was going to just go back to doing head sketches. But that's moving backwards in life, man. If I find it a challenge, rather than give up and do something else, I just keep doing it until it's not a challenge anymore, right? Right? Did I just not say that I was going to stop it with the philosophy? No, I said I was going to stop with the politics. Okay. If I get this done in 10 minutes, chances are I'm going to shut this video off and jump up and down. Okay, glove. But yeah, definitely Daredevil. Just such a fascinating character. Read Born Again. Read any of Frank Miller's seminal work on Daredevil. And then recently, oh man, when Brian Mike, I was so upset the other day because I lost all my Daredevil comics in a fire, and I was in my buddy Mike's store, Vintage Games and Junk, who was next door here, and he had all the Brian Michael Bendis Daredevil run. And he was selling them for like, I think it was like $5 an issue. And I don't know what the hell I was thinking. I gathered them all up just to see how much they would all cost. I have no money, much less how much it would cost to buy that entire run. So I don't know why I did that to myself. I was just like, oh, $100 you say? Curses, I'm $100 short. Ended up putting them back on the rack, but... Okay. Love these zebra pens. These brush pens are so great. Okay, the billy clubs. Oh, 840. No, it looks like I might have enough time to get it done. You see? Never give up. My two idols in life were Jackie Robinson and Terry Fox. Talk about never give up. Look at what some of these other people in life have accomplished. Look at what your heroes have done. The next time you think that life is getting hard. I had a shit week. Oh, can I swear? I'm gonna have to click not for children when I upload this. But I had a terrible week. But I'm not staying in bed. I'm drawing Daredevil, and later on I'm gonna go hunting ants. So I bought an ant farm at Value Village. Okay, just putting some shadow here with the time that I have remaining. And stop. Okay, 9:49 for a serviceable Daredevil. Now, oh, I didn't get enough time. You know what? If I would have let that run to 10 seconds, I would have had enough time to put his logo on his chest, the DD symbol. But for now, we're just going to say that it is a fully serviceable Daredevil minus the Daredevil logo on his chest. This has been another quick draw in the books. Turned out okay for the amount of time. I think, once again, to reiterate, I'm going to upload maybe like a 20-minute, half-hour video of me taking my time and showing how to do one of these sketches properly. But these are a lot of fun. I don't mind, just as an exercise, kind of trying to get these done in as short a period as possible. So, ladies and gentlemen, that's another quick draw in the books. Please remember to like, subscribe, and we will see you next time.